Are you a mother who has very sincerely decided that you will raise your child differently from how your parents raised you, and yet you find yourself struggling with a child who is distant, who is angry at you, who is not close to you, and also the guilt that I'm still not doing enough? Then listen to this mother's narration. She thought that the problem was with her child, who was increasingly becoming isolated, who had anxiety issues, who was self harming herself. And she sent her child for therapy as well. But still, she found that the daughter was continuing to be distant, continuing to keep a gap between her, till she realized that the real work starts with her. In this beautiful narrative, she has shared how she struggled as a mother. Despite all the good intentions to do everything right, there were areas where she found herself failing.
As a mother, I was very sure that I'm not going to raise my daughter the way my father raised me, restrictive. I will give her enough space and freedom to grow, which I did. But then I again became my dad, where I became very controlling. And then there were times I would decide for her and make her feel sheltered so that she doesn't even have to think for herself. And then next minute, I will be this helicopter mother trying to hover around, this protective mother. There was no one parenting style which I was following. I was all of it in extremes. So as a kid, she was handling it, but when she hit the teenage years, that is the adolescent years, that is when she started fighting back. That at one minute you are a very expressive mother, you want me to explore, and the next minute you restrict me from stepping out of the house and playing. Where am I? Or you know, it was there was no justification given, because eventually I was playing my mother or my father, who were very dominating. We were not, if we answer back or raise voice, means completely characterless girls. So silent ones are the good girls. So I was doing this required, if required, I transition to that old style, like how my dad was, and the next minute I'm this. I always thought she's my project and I'm raising. I completely cut off her dad's side family. I could only see her when I enter the house. And if something she's not done, I would just shout, "Oh, good girls are supposed to fold their clothes. Okay, this is how you should do." I have never done that as a child myself, but I was expecting from her, because I was trying to protect her from all the criticisms that I got as a child. So yes, childhood did play a role. And eventually, to change her, I also tested therapy for her. So I put her in therapy. I was also emotionally absent from her life for when she was 13. I was with friends. I was avoiding the family responsibility, or I completely, when I was present, I wanted things the way I wanted, or I'm completely emotionally absent. So gradually, it was affecting her. She was drifting away from home and from me. She started finding happiness in friends who were giving her the thrill or joy, and who were not good. The company was not good, but I was completely clearly missing it all out. But I was this provider mom. She needs this, okay, give her. But then I'm not around to see who her company is. She was sharing. She started getting into. She slowly could not deal with probably the loneliness at home, or me being absent, me being in a different world altogether, with new friends, new companions going around. So, and a busy dad who's extremely tied up in his work, she started distancing herself. And then I found out that she used to eat and then she would throw up, and she had body image issues, which obviously she couldn't discuss at home. She started spiraling into negative companionship. She started self harming for some time, which I was not able to notice. How, I don't even know. And I used to consider that I was doing the best for my child. And it was her who brought it to my notice that I am harming. I need help. I don't know what's happening to me. And for me was, I never thought I'm the problem here. I thought we are providing everything for her. So the problem for so let's go to therapy for her. Or this year, January, we had no clue myself that I was the root cause of all the problems. It was my these emotional baggage which was which was affecting her the most, and the clashes we used to have in the night in this house, oh my god, that was next level. It was affecting everybody, especially around after 10 o'clock. Who you talking, why are you in the room, what are you doing? It there is a list to it. So I think all of this was an emotional baggage which I was carrying, because I wanted to raise a perfect girl, which I was not for my father or my mother. We wouldn't hug each other more much. She wanted to stay away from me. I could sense that energy. She could never, I if I walk into her room, she couldn't handle the energy. She will just leave the space. She'll go to some friend's house, or she has a very good friend. Thankfully, maybe that's the only thing which was that last leaf, no, to like she that is a savior thing for her, that good friendship she had. So she would leave. She'd spend days in their house. She'll sleep there sometimes, wouldn't come up. She would eat dinner there. She would enjoy watching her mom, her friend's mother. And that is what I started noticing. And subtly, she would also say that, you know what, why don't you leave the house, take a job in a different city? And I'm talking about this girl who couldn't sleep without me for the longest time. She was suddenly wanting me to leave her life. And if nothing is working, she started suggesting if she can go to hostel for the rest of the year and leave home and stay in hostel. So those things were alarming. Some things were not okay. Like I said, the self-harming bit and that vomiting thing, overeating, and sometimes then puking. All of that was worrying me, and I was thinking, "अरे, इतना therapy में हम डाल रहे हैं." Then I would talk to therapist, desperate call to the therapist, saying what is happening, and then they would be like, they would suggest something, and they'll say, "Okay, we'll talk to her." It was not working, and then like God is around. When you seek help, God provides you. It's when I came across these parenting lessons of Riri ma'am on Instagram. I would scroll, and then suddenly the first I still remember the first parenting lesson. It was like 2 years ago she had released it. I had not seen it till then, and I started seeing. I have never reached out how what is parenting and how do you raise kids. That's something which I would never explore. And then suddenly it pops up, and she was talking about all the parenting mistakes we make, how our the way our parents raised us is not how we should raise these kids. And then one after the other, these videos would come every other day, and I would every mistake which I have made was mentioned and on her video. Every single parenting issues which I would do, emotional negligence, putting her down, criticism, always not allowing her, being very protective about her, but at the same time wanting her to get her own space, her freedom. And then having her friends, why friends के साथ नहीं पट रहा है, अरे अकेले है क्या, every little tiny details, trying to fix all her problems, whatever I could do, but yet not be there emotionally. All of the mistakes which I was making was being mentioned by ma'am on her video. And that's when I visited to the website. And you won't believe the first mistake I made was, can you give therapy to my daughter again? And then one fine day, I just decided to register and work on myself, because I realized truly, like after seeing all those videos, that yes, there is something we are doing wrong. I am doing wrong as a mother. So I am so glad. I have never taken therapy in life. And this is the first time I thought, let me work on myself. And so first it was understanding, and then I realized, I was convinced enough that I need therapy for myself first.
And finally, she realized that she needs to take help. She has made this audio specifically so that I can share it with all you moms out there who can relate to this parenting challenge that is faced by many, many mothers. So listen to her words carefully, listen to what she's saying, and know where the solution lies.
So, therapy has made me look inwards. I'm very thankful to the team. I'm thankful to Kokila, who has been calm and patient with me. But then there have been some amazing experience in therapy, which I would like to say. The first thing was, the best part is, first of all, there is no judgment. There is absolutely no judgment as a mother. Where you going wrong, what mistakes you made. There is no judgment. That's the best part of being in therapy. Second, the first session, I remember I was crying all through the session, because there were a lot of questions that I had to answer about about myself, about what I went through. And I was constantly thinking, it's not about me. I want to change as a better parent. Why am I telling about? Why was I talking about my childhood? And but can we talk about? I was thinking in my head, can we talk about how I have to be a better parent? Can she coach me? Can Kokila coach me about how to become a better parent? And I constantly was thinking, first session, second, third, and then I understood that what better parenting means. It means self work, patience, being kind to yourself, being nice to yourself, and then the emerges the better parent out of it. So it has been an very very interesting, very very exploration kind of a journey for me, just exploring myself, removing layers of me, and then seeing myself through a different lens. And every single thing that I wanted for myself in this therapy, in this journey of self hypnosis, what I was sharing, that I want peace, I want progress, I want connection with my child. It was all happening gradually in its own ways. Another great thing that happened was my connection to spirituality. I'm still learning, I'm still progressing. Another great thing that I think Riri ma'am has always mentioned on YouTube, and it's available free for everybody. But then I was seeing it, not practicing it. But with therapy, I started practicing it, which is the EFT tapping. That I was literally, for the first 2 3 months, I was living on EFT. Sometimes I'll be doing EFT in the morning, and sometimes there'll be this anxiety, so I'll be working out in the afternoon. Sometimes I'm sitting in the car and I'm doing EFT, and that helped me. This EFT tapping, it was like a medicine. I was living on it. I still live on it. Anytime I feel this anxiety anywhere, I know that EFT tapping is my way to recover or come out of it. Always paranoid about my daughter. The guilt in parenting was like so high, because the first thing that hits you as a mother when you realize that you've made so many mistakes, first thing is guilt. What have I done? And constantly it is killing me inside. So guilt in parenting was so high, and therapy helped me work on that, and slowly that guilt has completely gone out. And the best part is the connection in the 6 months, the connection I share with my child, the confidence that I have on her, how we share things, we watch movies together. For It was a time where my daughter would run away from me. She would not. We can't sit in the same room. There'll be fights in my house almost every other day, and me on top of my voice, shouting, screaming. I toned down. And there's this thing which I learned from one of those therapy sessions and some of the videos, where connection over correction. So I truly worked on that. I started listening to my daughter, hearing her out, and therapy has helped me in this. I can sit on a sofa, look into her eyes, and just understand where she's coming from. Why is she making that point? And validating her. And slowly, my daughter has come back to the loop. She loves sitting with me. We have chai together. She texts me out of the blue that how much she misses me and she values me. So she loves to see me and my husband having a good time watching. She loves to watch us together. So I think therapy has connected and helped me bond with my child, which I had completely messed up because I was depressed. Oh, I also therapy helped me realize that I was actually the depressed one. And those amazing scorecards which will make you feel that how I where I started and where I am right now. So I'm so thankful to the entire wellness team. You're just doing such an amazing job helping stuck up mothers, and especially mothers, because we are girls, and as girls child we've faced enough criticism, or have been ridiculed, have had 100 issues of body shaming. So it's so helpful for mothers especially. So thank you to everybody. Thank
So, as you saw in this audio, that how beautifully this mother expresses that from someone who has never taken therapy, did not even know what is therapy, when she became open-minded enough to take help to heal her own self, she was able to completely change her relationship with her daughter. This is the case with most moms. All the mothers, I do believe, want to do right for their children. But because of their own unhealed traumas, they are unable to do that way. Because of your own unhealed trauma baggages as mothers, you realize that you also are bringing a lot of anxiety, negativity, insecurities into your interactions with your children. You may be doing it with all good intentions, but you may not realize that that could be causing problem in the home environment and in your relationship with your child. So once you heal yourself, once you lighten up your own traumas, you heal your own negative beliefs, you change your patterns, you heal your anxiety, insecurities, and fears, you start seeing your child in a different light. Your energy is changed now, and your child senses that. And thus, by healing yourself and being at peace with yourself, you can truly heal your relationships, be it with your child or with your spouse. So I hope that you are taking back some messages from this sharing, which has been very beautifully done by a mother who had come to us. And I hope that you find this helpful. Please do not forget to share this forward with any mother who you know who is struggling with parenting guilt, stress, or a strained relationship with a child. Because when you hear it from somebody who has gone through it, you are obviously much more convinced, and it is much more believable to listen to somebody's journey from their own mouth, from their own experience. So do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you want more such information and content on parenting and mental health.